Mid-morning in Washington, D.C., the courthouse is already buzzing like a kicked-over beehive because Brown V's Metro Housing Authority is on the docket, and people are talking. Reporters, interns, judges, sipping bad coffee. It's all eyes on this case. And that's when Grayson makes his entrance. Picture this: slicked back hair, a too-tight tailored suit that's screaming money over morals, and a Gucci briefcase swinging like it's part of the damn act. The man doesn't walk, he performs, like he's on a runway made of marble floors and shattered dreams. Defense attorney Tyler Grayson, the dude with the never-lost-a-case ego and the receipts to back it up, the type to flash his watch more than his smile. Cold, cocky, calculated. He struts in like he already won. But today ain't gonna go the way he thinks, because sitting quietly at the plaintiff's table is someone the city forgot. Someone Grayson never even clocked as a threat. Mr. Vernon Hill, 78. Vietnam vet. Black. Calm as hell. Leaning on a cane like he's just watching time pass. This man, he's been through more in a week than Grayson's survived in a lifetime. And Grayson, he doesn't even see him. Just sees another poor, old tenant in a housing discrimination case. In his mind, it's practically a warm-up round. That's mistake number one. Vernon's eyes scan the courtroom slowly, not rushed, like he's been here before, like he knows this game. Knows it better than the young suits snapping gum and flexing arguments in the hallway. He's not here to win some petty lawsuit. He's here because they took his home. Not a house, a home. 41 damn years. Gone. Evicted illegally. Shuffled out like trash while new condos went up next door, full of rooftop bars and tech bros pretending to be edgy. Vernon didn't just lose square footage. He lost legacy. His wife died in that apartment. His daughter took her first steps there. The ghost of that life still lingers like smoke. And now he's here, cane in hand, suit freshly pressed, ready to take it back the only way he knows how, through the system that failed him. And that courtroom? It ain't just about a verdict anymore. It's about memory. It's about rage. It's about standing up when they expect you to stay seated. Grayson smirks across the aisle. You can tell he thinks this is already in the bag. But Vernon doesn't flinch, doesn't blink, just watches him with the patience of a man who's already buried better men than this. Judge enters. Crowd quiets. But the tension doesn't drop. It builds. Because this isn't gonna be just another civil rights case, buried in red tape and settled with silence. Nah. This is the moment the house of cards starts shaking. And the cockiest man in the room, he doesn't even feel the wind coming. He's too busy rehearsing his lines. And Vernon Hill, he's about to deliver the one performance that nobody saw coming. Grayson's standing at the center of the courtroom, like it's his TED Talk and the rest of us just paid admission. He flashes that media-trained smile, adjusts his cufflinks like he's about to win an Oscar, then drops his opening like it's the final verse of a diss track. But what comes out of his mouth? Trash. Straight up disrespect. This case, he starts, voice dripping with fake concern, is not about injustice. It's about sympathy. A stunt. Hill doesn't move, doesn't blink, but the whole courtroom shifts. You feel it, like someone just cracked a bone out of place. Grayson keeps going. Mr. Hill is a senior citizen. Memory gets slippery. We don't blame him for wanting to hold on to the past. 'Cause then, with a smug little bow that should have got him drop-kicked out of the building, he adds, "Thank you for your service, sir. But this is a court of law, not a nostalgia tour." Oof. That one lands like a slap in the face. Gasps. Real ones. From the crowd, from the back row, even from the court clerk who accidentally slams her pen on the desk. Tanya Price, Hill's attorney, mid-30s, razor sharp with a spine made of pure titanium, sits up straighter, her jaws tight, her hands gripping that legal pad so hard it might split in two. She doesn't speak, doesn't need to. Her silence is louder than a gavel. Judge Lena Morales sits above it all. Mid-50s, Latina, elegant with edge, like she could shut down a street fight just by raising an eyebrow. She doesn't interrupt, doesn't scold, but her eyes, they change. No longer warm, no longer neutral. She's locked in, and Grayson, poor bastard, doesn't notice. He thinks he's won. He struts back to his seat like a rooster on cocaine, smirking to himself, probably already writing his press release in his head. Grayson delivers, blistering opening. Courtroom silenced. That kind of headline. But what he doesn't see, what he never saw, is that the room didn't go silent out of awe. It went silent because the energy shifted. The air got heavier, colder. Like the whole building just turned against him. Vernon Hill still hasn't moved, still calm. But now, his eyes are fixed on Grayson in a way that says, "You done messed up, boy." Not angry, not flustered, just settled. Like someone who's been disrespected more times than he can count, but who finally walked into a space where he can do something about it. And Tanya? She leans over, whispers something in Hill's ear. He nods once. Just once. Whatever she said, he's ready. Game face on. Grayson leans back, looking proud. Relaxed. Done. 2 minutes later, he's about to find out he just detonated his own case. The courtroom's not a theater anymore. It's a trap. And Grayson? He walked right into the jaws, grinning the whole damn time. The vibe shifts the second Vernon Hill steps up to the stand. A couple folks in the gallery sit up straighter. Some take their hats off. Tanya helps him gently. He's not fragile, just respectful. Like every move he makes costs him something, so he spends them with purpose. He raises his right hand, swears in. No drama, no flex. Just solid steel behind the eyes. And then he starts talking. Not loud. Not emotional. Just honest. I was drafted in '66. Flew recon missions out of Da Nang. Got 2 Purple Hearts, a Distinguished Flying Cross, and a lifetime of nightmares. The whole room leans in, silent like a church. Came back home thinking I'd earned something. Turns out I was wrong. He tells them about the apartment. 41 years, rent-controlled, 1 bedroom, 4th floor. Watched the neighborhood change around him. Watched his neighbors vanish. Watched the letters pile up. The pressure to move out. The inspections that turned into excuses. The locks that changed without warning. He tells it all, straight-faced. Doesn't crack. Then he pulls out the document. Old paper, official-looking. Yellowed edges, but the text is clear. A denied housing application. This, he says, is the paperwork I was given when I tried to move back into another Metro housing property. Said I didn't meet the requirements. Judge Morales raises a brow. What requirements were those? Hill doesn't answer. He flips the page. At the bottom is a signature, bold, looping. Big enough to feel like a flex. It belongs to a man named Roger Grayson, board member, real estate developer, and yes, Tyler's daddy. The silence, it clocks. A legal gut punch. You could hear the pulse in the walls. Tanya stands, no hesitation. Your Honor, she says, smooth and ready. We'd like to enter Exhibit C into the record. Then she drops a folder, so thick it thuds against the desk. Emails, texts, memos, screenshots, legal drafts, lease red lines, internal communications from Metro Housing, the developer, and yep, even Tyler Grayson's law firm, the kicker. A message from Grayson himself. We'll bury this. Old guy's got no chance. He said that, typed it, sent it, didn't even care. Judge Morales doesn't move, but the muscle in her jaw twitches. Grayson finally speaks. Objection. This is character assassination. No, Morales says, voice icy. This is testimony. You'll wait your turn. He steps forward, flailing now. Your Honor, She cuts him like a blade. Mr. Grayson, you have 10 seconds to consider the value of silence. That smirk, gone. In its place, panic, not dramatic, not loud, but creeping. Like a man who just realized he'd built his whole career on sand. And now the tide's rolling in. Vernon Hill sits there still, calm, steady, looking right at Grayson, like, "You see me now, don't you?" The courtroom doesn't clap, doesn't cheer. But everyone knows what just happened. A quiet man told the truth, and the lies started cracking open like eggshells. Grayson's rattled now. Not the usual, I'll lawyer my way out of this kind of rattled, but full-on sweating through his collar panic. His voice cracks as he tries to object again. "These emails. This is taken out of context." Tanya barely turns. "Would you like us to read the full thread?" He doesn't answer because he knows what's in it. The whole courtroom does now. Tanya paces calmly in front of the jury like she's walking through receipts at a family reunion. "Let the court note," she says, flipping another page in the binder. "Exhibit D, Mr. Grayson's direct communications to a key witness, instructing them to omit references to a denied application, and to stay vague on age-related memory issues." Grayson tries to interject, but she's not done. Exhibit E, financial records tracing funds from a shell corporation, Delco Urban Group LLC, into an offshore account linked to a senior Metro housing executive. Judge Morales doesn't blink. "That company appears on the defense's disclosures, Mr. Grayson. Do you deny these payments exist?" He opens his mouth, closes it, tries again. "I wasn't aware of the transfers. Yet you signed the retainer with the group that authorized them," Tanya says, steel in her tone. "Here's your signature." And finally, she pulls out a legal pad, ripped pages, sloppy handwriting. The courtroom leans in. "This," she says slowly, "was found in Mr. Grayson's trial prep folder. A personal note mocking Mr. Hill." She reads it. "Play the war hero card too hard and the jury will smell pity. Use his age against him. He probably forgets half of what happened anyway." Grayson's face drains. Bloodless. Chalk white. He looks like someone just ripped the floor out from under him. Which, to be fair, they kinda just did. The jury shifts, leans forward. One juror scribbles something fast. Journalists in the back row are already typing with both hands, eyes wide. Tanya returns to her seat without fanfare, like she just swatted a fly. Grayson doesn't say a word. Judge Morales breathes in through her nose like she's resetting herself. Then cool and controlled. "We're calling a 15-minute recess." The gavel drops, but the room doesn't exhale. If anything, the air gets tighter. Out in the hallway, it's chaos. Cameras flash. Reporters shove mics into the faces of anyone wearing a blazer. You'd think a celebrity got arrested. And in a way, one just did. Because Tyler Grayson wasn't just a defense attorney. He was the guy. The golden boy. And now, he's the headline. Back inside the courtroom, people shuffle but don't leave. They feel it. Something bigger is cracking underneath this floor. You can see it in the way the gallery stays packed, in the quiet murmurs of, "Did you hear that email?" Or, "Did he really write that about a veteran?" And then they walk in. 3 people, back row, suits too sharp to be local, bar association reps. One of them opens a laptop. Another starts recording. No one announces anything, but everyone knows. Something seismic just shifted. And Tyler Grayson? He's sitting at the eye of the storm, trying to remember how it all went so wrong, so fast. 15 minutes later, everyone's back in the courtroom. But it's not the same room anymore. It's heavier, like the floor is carrying the weight of something massive. Something about to crack wide open. The gallery's full. Reporters at the back are locked in, fingers on keyboards. Tanya's calm, hands folded neatly. Vernon Hill sits steady, like a mountain that never moved. And then Judge Morales walks in. No robe adjustment, no throat clearing, just straight to the bench, gavel raised. And when it drops, it shakes the walls. "This court," she says, voice hard enough to bruise, finds the defendant, the Metro Housing Authority, liable for unlawful eviction and discrimination under federal housing statutes. You could hear a pin drop. A woman in the gallery lets out a sharp breath. Someone else mutters, "Finally!" Tanya reaches over, just barely touches Hill's hand. He doesn't react right away, just stares ahead, still. But Morales isn't done. She turns, slowly, deliberately, and drills her gaze into Tyler Grayson like she's reading his obituary out loud. "As for you, Mr. Grayson," she says, each word a blade, "your conduct throughout these proceedings has been not only inappropriate, but professionally disgraceful. You have coached witnesses to lie, tampered with evidence, and mocked a decorated veteran in written notes submitted as part of your legal strategy." Grayson opens his mouth, like he wants to fight back, say something slick. But one glance from Morales shuts that idea down cold. "Effective immediately," she continues, not missing a beat, "I am submitting a formal referral to the State Bar Association, requesting an emergency suspension of your license pending full review." Gasps like a ripple in a pond. Even the court reporter stops typing for half a second. One of the bar reps in the back row nods, already tapping something into his phone. Tanya looks at Hill, who finally closes his eyes, just for a second. But it says everything. Not relief, not revenge, just peace. The kind of peace that tastes like justice. "Grayson. Oh, Grayson," he tries. He mutters something under his breath. No mic, no volume. Just that weak, broken mutter of a man who thought the world would never catch up to him. Morales doesn't even blink, doesn't ask him to repeat it, doesn't dignify it at all. He's done. She stands, robe flowing like armor. "This court is adjourned." Boom. Gavel hits wood again. And just like that, it's over. But the courtroom doesn't move right away. It's like nobody wants to break the moment. Like they know they just witnessed something that wasn't supposed to happen. But did. Justice didn't whisper today. It roared. And the man who thought he'd own the room, he's sitting there, small, alone, silent. While the man he called forgetful just rewrote the entire damn story. 2 weeks later, Tyler Grayson's name shows up in a headline, but not the kind he used to chase. "Grayson disbarred. State Bar revokes. License amid misconduct scandal." It's official. His law firm cuts ties that same day. Their statements cold, corporate, and full of the usual "does not reflect our values" nonsense. His LinkedIn goes dark. His office plaque pulled off the wall by 10 a.m. His corner office already claimed by some junior associate with a better moral compass and less hair gel. Rumor has it, Grayson was spotted filling out paperwork for a job in corporate compliance. That's legal world purgatory. No courtrooms, no cameras, just cubicles and regret. Meanwhile, Vernon Hill, he's not interested in the spotlight, but the spotlight won't leave him alone. The city offers to give him his old apartment back, rent-free. Lifetime deal. Apology package with a bow on top. He says no. Instead, he asks for something bigger. Turn it into transitional housing, he says, for at-risk vets, the ones still sleeping in alleys while folks argue about policy. That's how Apartment at 4B becomes the Hill House, Charleston's first public-private veteran housing initiative. The plaque goes up with his name, but he doesn't show for the ceremony. "A roof over a head means more than a round of applause," he says when someone asks. And Tanya Price? She starts the Hill Legal Justice Fund the same week, a grassroots operation for tenants facing discrimination, especially seniors and veterans. First 48 hours? Over $200,000 in donations. By the end of the month, they've got pro bono volunteers in 3 cities and a waiting list of people finally getting their day in court. The press can't get enough of Judge Morales either. At a press conference, she steps up to the mic in a slate gray blazer and no patience for fluff. "This wasn't just about one man's rights," she says, eyes sharp. "It was about reminding the arrogant that truth has teeth, and when it bites, it doesn't let go." And the people feel that. Clips go viral. Street murals start popping up. One of Vernon on the courthouse steps, cane in one hand, folder in the other. Caption: "Truth walks tall." But the best part? It's quiet. It's Vernon Hill, alone, one afternoon, taking the courthouse steps slow, like always. Same cane, same steel in his spine. But this time, there's no battle waiting at the top. Just peace. He stops halfway, looks around. The place doesn't feel like an enemy anymore. It feels like what it should have always been. A place that listens. A place that learns. He didn't just win a case. He shifted the culture. He reminded a crooked system how straight it used to stand, and dared it to remember. Not with rage, not with revenge, but with truth, and a cane that never wobbled.